Liancheng. It is said that there was a scholar named Qiao in Jining County. He was very talented when he was young, but in his 20s, he was still poor. Qiao Sheng was an upright man. He had a good friend named Gu who died young. Qiao Sheng often supported his wife and children. The county magistrate thought highly of Qiao Sheng because of his good writing. Later, the county magistrate died in office, and his family was stranded in Jining, unable to return to his hometown. Qiao Sheng sold his property, bought a coffin hub, and traveled more than 2,000 miles back to his hometown to return the county magistrate's body and his family. Because of this incident, the literati at that time respected Qiao Sheng more, but Qiao Sheng became poorer because of it. At that time, a Juren named she had a daughter named Liancheng who was good at embroidery and knew how to write and be courteous. Shi Juren doted on her very much. Once, Shi Juren took out a tired embroidery picture embroidered by his daughter and asked young scholars to write poems on the picture, which meant that he would choose a good son-in-law who was talented and learned. Qiao Sheng also wrote a poem to present it. This poem said, "The carefree servant girl with her high bun and green hair embroidered lotus flowers early in the morning towards the orchid window. The mandarin duck's soul was about to break when she stabbed it, so she secretly stopped her needlework and frowned at the two moths." He also wrote a poem praising the exquisite embroidery of this picture. The embroidery threads are picked out like sketching, and the flowers and birds in the picture are made from nature. Brocade weaving was not a good skill in those days, but I am lucky to have a sense of palindrome. When Liancheng saw these two poems, he liked them very much and praised Qiao Sheng's talent to his father. But his father thought Qiao Sheng was too poor and did not want to find such a son-in-law. After that, Liancheng praised Qiao Sheng every time he met, and sent an old woman to give Qiao Sheng some silver coins in the name of his father to pay for his studies. Qiao Sheng sighed and said, "Liancheng is really my confidant." He was deeply devoted to her and missed her eagerly. Soon, Liancheng got engaged to the son of a salt merchant named Wang Huachang, and Qiao Sheng began to despair. But the dream still lingers, and I think about Liancheng all the time. Not long after, Liancheng fell seriously ill and was bedridden. There was a monk from the western regions who claimed to be able to cure her disease, but he had to mix a pound of flesh from a man's chest into pieces. Shi Juren sent someone to tell Wang Huachang. Wang Huachang smiled and said, "Silly old man, do you want me to cut out your heart?" and sent the people who were sent back. Shi Juren said to others, "Whoever is willing to cut off his body to save my daughter, I will marry my daughter to him." When Qiao Sheng heard about it, he immediately rushed to Shi's house, took out a knife, and cut his chest. Remove the piece of meat and give it to the monk. The blood dyed Qiao Sheng's clothes red, and the monk hurriedly applied medicine to him to stop the bleeding. The monk mixed 3 pills with Qiao Sheng's meat and gave Liancheng to take them in 3 days. The disease was indeed cured. Shi Juren wanted to fulfill his promise and marry Liancheng to Qiao Sheng. "First go and notify Wang Huachang. Wang Huachang is furious and wants to file a lawsuit." Shi Juren was afraid, so he held a banquet and invited Qiao Sheng over. Then he took out 1,000 taels of silver, put it on the table, and said, "I have let down your great kindness, so I will use this money to repay you." Qiao Sheng told the reason for breaking the contract. Qiao Sheng said angrily, "The reason why I don't spare the meat is just to repay my kindness. Am I a meat seller?" After saying that, he walked away. After Liancheng heard about it, he couldn't bear it and asked his old lady to comfort him. He also said, with his talent, he will not stay under the influence of others for a long time. Why worry about the lack of beauties in the world? The dreams I have had recently are all unlucky. I will die within 3 years. There is no need to fight with others about me, a ghost under the spring. Sheng told the old lady. The ancient said, "A scholar dies for a confidant. I am not repaying her because she is beautiful. I am really afraid that Liancheng may not really know my heart. If he really knows, what's the harm if we can't be husband and wife?" She quickly confessed her true feelings for Liancheng. Qiao Sheng said, "Sure enough, if she smiles for me when we meet, I will die without regrets." A few days after the old lady returned, Liaozhai accidentally went out and happened to meet Liancheng returning from his uncle's house. Liaozhai looked at her, and Liancheng also saw him. I saw her flirting with her eyes and smiling slightly. Liaozhai was overjoyed. Said, Liancheng is really my close friend. Soon after, merchant Wang Yan came to Shijie to discuss Liancheng's wedding date. After Liancheng heard about it, he fell ill again and died within a few months. Liaozhai went to express condolences, cried bitterly, and passed away. The historians carried him home. Liaozhai knew that he was dead, but he didn't feel any sadness. A man left the village, thinking about meeting Liancheng again. From a distance, I saw a north-south road with pedestrians as crowded as ants. He also walked over and mingled with the crowd. After a while, he entered a government office and met his old, good friend Gu Sheng. Gu Sheng saw him and asked in surprise, "Why are you here?" After saying that, he took Liaozhai's hand and wanted to send him back. Liaozhai gave a long sigh and said, "My worries are over." Gu Sheng said, "I am in charge of the classics here, and I am very trusted by my superiors. Wherever I am useful, I will do my best." Liaozhai said. Then he asked him where Liancheng was. Gu Sheng led him to many places, and finally he found Liancheng and a girl wearing her own clothes, sitting in a corner of a corridor with tears streaming down her face. When Liancheng saw Liaozhai, he stood up hurriedly, as if he was overjoyed, and briefly asked him how he got here. Liaozhai said, "You are dead. How dare I live in this world?" After hearing this, Liancheng cried and said, "I am such an ungrateful person. Why don't you spurn me and sacrifice yourself to death? I can't follow you in this life. I will definitely marry you in the next life." Liaozhai turned around and told Gu Sheng, "If you have anything to do, go ahead. I feel very happy after death, and don't want to live anymore. I just want to trouble you to find out what Liancheng Tu Sheng did. I want to go with her." Gu Sheng agreed and left. At this time, the girl in white asked Liancheng who Liaozhai was. Liancheng told her the past. The girl seemed unable to suppress the sadness in her heart. Liancheng told Liaozhai, "This girl has the same surname as me, and her nickname is Benaying. She is the daughter of the governor of Changsha. We came together all the way and got along very well." Liaozhai looked at Benaying and saw that she looked very sad and pitiful. Just as he was about to ask more questions, Gu Sheng had already returned and congratulated Liaozhai, saying, "I've finished it for you, and I'll let you resurrect the young lady with you." "Okay." After hearing this, both of them liked it very much. Just as he was about to say goodbye to Gu Sheng, Benaying cried loudly and said, "My sister is gone. Where will I go? Please take pity on me and save me. I am willing to be your servant." Liancheng felt sad and couldn't think of a way to do it, and discussed with Liaozhai. Liaozhai turned to beg Gu Sheng for help. Gu Sheng was very embarrassed and insisted that it was difficult to handle. Liaozhai insisted on begging, but Gu Sheng said helplessly, "I'll go and try it randomly." After leaving for a meal, he came back, waved his hands and said, "How is it? I really can't do anything." Benaying heard that. Crying sadly, she leaned on Liancheng's arm reluctantly, fearing that she would leave soon. The three of them were relatively speechless and helpless. Looking at Benaying's sad look, it really makes people feel sad. Gu Sheng stood up excitedly and said, "You guys take Benaying with you. You are really guilty. I risked my life to bear the responsibility alone." After hearing this, Benaying became happy and followed Liaozhai out. Liaozhai was worried that it would be too far for her to go to Changsha alone and she would have no company. Benaying said, "I want to go with you, but I don't want to go back." Liaozhai said, "You are so stupid. If I don't go back and I can't see your body, how can I return to the sun? When we go to Hunan in the future, you won't hide. We would be honored if we were with you." Two old women happened to be going to Changsha to seduce someone with a gouache. So Liaozhai entrusted Benaying to them and said goodbye in tears. On the road, I couldn't even walk through the city, so I had to rest after walking for more than a mile. After resting for more than 10 times, we finally saw the village gate. Liancheng said, I'm afraid our affairs will be repeated after I return to the world. Please go to my house first and ask for my body. Then I will be reborn in your house. My father will not regret it anymore." Liaozhai thought it was right, and the two of them agreed. They went to Liaozhai's house first. Liancheng was trembling as if he couldn't walk anymore. Liaozhai stopped and waited for her. Liancheng said, "When I walked here, I couldn't help but tremble all over. I was so worried that our wish would not come true. We have to discuss it carefully, otherwise, after we survive, we will be unable to control ourselves again," the two of them said to each other. With support, he entered a side room. After a long time, no one spoke. Liancheng suddenly smiled and said, "Do you hate me?" Liaozhai asked in surprise what this meant. Liancheng said shyly, "I'm afraid if our thing doesn't work out, I'll let you down so much. Please let me repay you with my ghost body first." Liaozhai was overjoyed, and the two of them loved each other very much. Because they did not dare to survive in a hurry, the two of them hesitated and stayed in the wing for 3 days. Liancheng said, "As the saying goes, an ugly daughter-in-law will eventually meet her parents-in-law. Worrying here all the time is not a long-term solution after all." He urged Liaozhai to go and return the sun. As soon as Liaozhai reached the morning hall, he suddenly woke up. The family was very surprised and gave him some soup. Liaozhai then sent someone to invite Shijiren to ask for Liancheng's body, saying that he could resurrect her. Shijiren was overjoyed and obeyed his words. As soon as Liancheng was carried into Liaozhai's house, he saw that Liancheng was indeed alive. Liancheng told his father, "My daughter has promised herself to Liang, and there is no reason to go back. If my father refuses, I will have no choice but to die again." When Shijiren returned home, he sent his slaves to Liao's house to serve his daughter. When Wang Huaqing heard about it, he immediately wrote a complaint to the government. The government accepted bribes from the Wang family and awarded Liancheng to Wang Huaqing. Liaozhai was so angry that he wanted to die, but in the end he was helpless. When Liancheng arrived at Wang's house, he angrily refused to eat and just wanted to die quickly. Seeing that no one was in the house, he hung the strap on the beam and hung himself. After being rescued, 1 day later, he became more and more seriously ill, and he was about to die. Wang Huaqing was afraid and sent her back to her parents' home. Shijiren carried her to Liaozhai's house again. After Wang Huaqing heard about it, he had no choice but to give up. After Liancheng recovered from his illness, he often missed Binyang. "I wanted to send someone to deliver a message, so I visited her. It is difficult to go because the road is too far." One day, family members suddenly came in and reported, "There are many carriages and horses coming outside the door." Liaozhai and his wife walked out of the house and saw Binyang already in the yard. When the three of them met, they were filled with joy and sorrow. Governor Shi personally sent his daughter here. Liaozhai invited him into the house, and Governor Shi said, "Thanks to you, my daughter can be resurrected. She swore not to marry anyone else, and now I obey her wishes." Liaozhai kowtowed in thanks. Shijiren also came and talked about being of the same clan as Prefect Shi.
Alright, this story has come to an end. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you.